The last rule of differentiation is called power rule. Say that you have this equation y equal to k times fx to the power of n. So let's recall, if you have y equal to kx to the power of n, how do you differentiate this equation? Differentiate y, you'll get dy dx. We have constant k and it stays the same at the front. Now, how do you differentiate x to the power of n? You bring the power to the front. So what happens to x to the power of n? It will become x to the power of n minus 1. So actually, there is another extra step here. You actually need to differentiate x and it will give you 1. So the extra step is to differentiate the function that has the power n. So that's why when you differentiate x, you will get 1. But 1 here can be ignored. So that's why it is just kn times x to the power of n. So we will apply this concept to this equation. If we differentiate the right hand side, constant k stays the same. Bring power to the front. This is fx to the power of n. So just copy down fx. But now what happens to the power? It minus with 1. And the extra step is to differentiate the one with the power. So if you differentiate fx, you will get f prime x. So we will need to times everything with f prime x. And that is the formula of power rule. So let's do example 8, question A. We need to differentiate this function. Differentiate this will give you f prime x. Differentiate 3x will give you 3. Minus stays the same. Now let's differentiate this one. The constant is 1, so it's just 1 here. Bring power to the front. So this is the function with the power n. So just copy down the function. What happens to the power? It will become negative 2 minus 1, which is minus 3. But don't forget, you need to differentiate the function with the power. So you'll get 2x plus 11. So let's simplify everything. The first term is just 3. Next, we have this term here. Negative times negative 2 is positive 2. So let's bring this one to the front. And then we have x squared plus 11x minus 5 to the power of negative 3. So is this the final answer? No, because we still have this function with the power negative 3. So let's bring this back to the denominator. So that is the final answer of question A. For question B, we have this function. So before we differentiate, you can see that here we have something in the denominator. So let's bring this to the numerator. So this is still fx. So now let's differentiate everything. Differentiate 2 and you'll get 0. The constant is 1, so it's just 1. Bring power to the front. Copy down everything here. But now what happens to the power? It is 2 minus 1, which is 1. But don't forget to differentiate this function with the power n. So you'll get 6x. Minus stays the same. For the last term here, the constant is 1 over 6. Bring power to the front. Copy down the function with the power n. Now the power will become negative 4. But don't forget to differentiate the function with the power. So in this case, you'll get negative 2x. So now simplify everything here. 0 can be ignored. For this one, try to simplify. This is 2 times 6x. And then you times it with 3x squared minus 4. And for the last term here, you have negative 1 over 6 times negative 2x. So negative, negative, negative means it is negative. 1 over 6 times 3 times 2x is simply 1x only, which is x. But don't forget about this function here. So, can we leave our answers like this? You can't, because here is something with the power negative. So, we need to simplify this one only. So, that's the final answer of this question.